behind me, a block behind me, the Traditionalist Workers' Party, which is essentially a National Socialist or a Nazi organization in the United States, showed up. On this street, there are militia members, basically guys with guns who are remaining neutral and trying to keep the whole thing separate. Police have actually taken a pretty hands-off approach, which has led to several brawls already. So as Richard Spencer walked in, Antifa attempted to pepper spray him. I think they missed him, but they hit me. And then additionally, when Matt Heimbach, the leader of the National Socialist organization, Traditional Workers' Party, walked in, there was a giant brawl, including at least 40 people over there. And both sides were deploying pepper spray and using the wooden part of a flag to basically hit one another. So it's sort of an all-out street war so far. And to my knowledge, no arrests have been made. Police are circling above in helicopters, but have mostly remained at the periphery of this and between the two organizations up on the park. But as far as kind of brawling in the streets, cops are kind of letting it happen.
Now, folks who haven't been to Charlottesville should know it is normally a pretty quiet university town with a pedestrian shopping area in the middle of it. But it has recently become the source of controversy because of the Confederate General Robert E. Lee, the statue to him, that there's been a battle to remove that statue. Walk us through some of that.
Yeah, so it's become this weird focal point for this sort of culture war between the right wing and the left wing, in that the right wingers support keeping the statue here at what they refer to as Lee Park, whereas the town and the townspeople, who are predominantly liberal, want to change the name to Emancipation Park and take the statue down. So an otherwise very progressive town has become this kind of hotbed for alt-right and dare I say, Nazi activity, which is something that kind of tends to terrify the locals, which are mostly based around University of Virginia, right? So we spoke to a lot of UVA students who are living here during the summer, and most of them are shocked to see what is happening kind of at their college campus and around in their community.
So we're seeing what is surrounding you now. There was violence last night, torchlight rallies, people being injured there. July, the Ku Klux Klan descended on the city. So what has the city's response been to all of this? So
the city has had, and you can see that there's fighting going on behind me at this exact second. I don't know how far into the distance it is and whether you're able to see that, but they're kind of coming up on us, so I may have to move a little bit, but we're staying on the line. The city has mostly responded by trying to separate the two sides. At the Klan rally, the failure of it was actually that they had a hard time separating them after they all started leaving. But this has been treated sort of like a military operation by both sides. So you can see what's happening with, these are the right-wingers behind us, who are all using basically shields. Many of these guys have the icon of the Traditionalist Worker Party. So these are literal National Socialists. These guys are Nazis. They're trying to rush back all the way up the park without being attacked. To answer your question, as you can see, cops aren't super involved in this otherwise rather sort of provocative situation.
Okay, Ford, we don't want you getting hurt out there, so if at any time you need to stand aside, please do so. We want the story, but we want you safe as well.
And I've got Alejandro Alvarez with me, who's my interim news director. He's kind of guarding my back right now so that I don't have to have eyes on both sides of my head.
Okay.
But although there isn't specific targeting of press, they haven't been afraid to get press on the crossfire. I've been pepper sprayed by both the left and the Nazi side, and in fact, this iPhone is mounted on top of my camera, which you can see got kind of paint bombed, so there's pink paint all over my camera as well.
I think we've got time for just one more question.
Sure.
Describe exactly what's happening. We could see the guys with the shields moving off. Were they just marching, or were they being forced back, or what's the dynamics of what's happening on the ground there?
Right. So the right-wingers are permitted to be up in the park, which is up in this direction. Mostly the anti-fascists, the clergy, the militia, kind of all of the people who aren't loosely affiliated with Unite the Right are out on the street. The problem is, obviously, it's not like the right-wingers to be airdropped into the middle of this. So they have to go through the left wing to get in, and that's where they've predominantly been attacked. The left-wingers aren't really gaining any ground on the actual hill, but they're able to attack them as they come in, and that's when the majority of the fighting's been happening.
Ford, thank you so much for this. Listen, take care of yourself. We'll be checking in with you throughout the day, but I really appreciate your time and your reporting on this.
All right. Thank you for paying attention to what's going on in America, guys.